string from a couple of years ago. The transfer from Louisiana, 23 wins on the season, and stories for Tennessee, Texas, and Oregon are here. They have come many times. They have come up short. Gabby Leach leading things off, the starting right fielder. And in for a strike from Sam Landry.
And watch that side of the plate. You're going to see these Tennessee batters. The lefties are going to kind of crowd with the front foot. Gabby Leach will kind of step towards that line, looking for middle away.
Taking that off the bounce. But a couple runs across quickly for Tennessee. Tennessee jumping in front of Oklahoma. Sooners picking up the bats as we look at our starting lineups. Brought to you by Capital One. And for the 8-time champs, Pickering, Parker, and Sanders highlighted. They are the lone returnees in the starting lineup from their title team a year ago. The roster turnover having to replace what Patty Gasso says is the best senior class she's ever coached, certainly the most successful in the history of the sport. And yet here they are right back knocking on the door at the World Series. And they will face Carlin Pickens, the junior out of Weaverville, North Carolina. Yesterday named a first-team All-American and has won the last 2 SEC Pitcher of the Year awards.
She is dominant in the circle, a 1.0 ERA, a whip even below 1. It's tough to get on against Carlin Pickens.
She got better with each game in the Super Regional. 3 straight days head-to-head against Nebraska and Jordy Ball. And I'm sure you've heard of the velocity there at 76. She's topped out at 78 and then broke that record last weekend with a 79-mile-an-hour pitch. And here is Cassidy Pickering to start things off. Another first-team All-American. Lights out so far in the postseason, hitting .500. And she was 7 for 8 against Tennessee in their regular season series. I mean, their OPSs are ridiculous.
Yeah. And that's for the season. I mean, usually you see that for like 2 weeks.
A series, maybe?
Yes.
The average, by the way, I think is 826. So hers is 1422. She's one of 3 players with an OPS of over 1,200 in this lineup.
They're playing her to pull. Third base, Taylor Panel is playing the shortstop position. They are way shifted over. There's a ton of room down that line.
A ton of room down that line. You can see it.
Pickering almost went that way.
Well, it's hard not to notice. You're up to bat, and then you start to think, okay, are they going to come in on me? They went away there.
Well, and you expect her to be late and actually spray to the left side, so I'm surprised they're actually that far off the line.
I mean, that is a huge gap.
She does pull it, and well positioned is Gabby Leach out and right. 1 down, and here comes Ella Parker. Another first-team All-American, getting some info from Pickering as she heads back to the dugout. Has really hit well in the second half of the season, dealing with a foot injury that's been lingering all year long, and she's just playing through the pain. And that right foot.
A lot of it is pain management and just taking care of it as much as you can.
Wow, get in her kitchen. And Ella Parker, you guys, she's got quick hands. We've talked about the velocity from Carlin Pickens, so that was 76 inside.
Yeah, inside
Parker was late.
That makes that feel like 80 inside.
Yeah, when it's
low and away.
in on the hands. And Parker, she's talking about how hot of a bat. She's 0 for 6 against Pickens. Remember, Pickens beat Oklahoma twice this year.
Back-to-back changeups. They're not that, they're 66 miles an hour, so it's hard to call them changeups, but they're still really fast.
I feel like,
And Landry hasn't really gotten settled in. This is a changeup left up in the zone, not the location she wants that pitch. She wants it down below the knees, and Mueller takes advantage. In fact, she gets around that pitch. Another hit for Tennessee. That's the third.
here's Kinsey Fiedler, the transfer from Washington. Played with the Huskies at the World Series a couple of years ago, and now here with Tennessee. Karen Weekly says she provides the swag and the confidence in this lineup. Those are good things to have when you want to be a coach one day. Kinsey said, let everybody know out there, I'm looking for a good job after I graduate this year. So there you go. Call Fiedler.
Love it.
She'll step out after the swing and miss.
Aggressive on a 2-0 count. I like that. You get something that you're hunting, put a big cut on it.
Two and two.
And this was the pitch you're going to see a lot of from Landry. She's going to throw that 70-mile-an-hour down pitch, and then she's going to come back at 55 miles an hour. A lot of effective velocity used on both sides of the ball for this Oklahoma program.
From 55 miles an hour up to 71. 30th pitch of the day coming, and it's 3 and 2. Stay foul.
So Landry typically will throw that changeup about 24% of the time. It's going to be well above that in this game.
Waits on the 3-2 pitch. Caught it second, diving back in safely is Mueller. One down.
A lot of hard contact with 2 strikes. And that's what we're seeing last inning. 2 of the big hits came with 2 strikes. That's an out. And another changeup. It hit hard.
Here's Emma Clark, the DP, in the 8th spot in the lineup. Freshman out of Cleveland, North Carolina.
Guys, this is also advantage hitters when it's SEC on SEC. I mean, they have played. They're very familiar with each other. They understand exactly what they're going to face, and these very elite pitchers, but multiple at-bats.
Well, you hear coaches all the time, you know, you want to play a tough schedule to get your team prepared. Karen Weekly this year, they have played 5 of the 7 other teams that are here at the World Series. So they've seen these arms. Of course, everybody else has seen Pickens too.
That's where you have to be creative. It's not being predictable. I mean, you're going to go back, and if, as a hitter, I want to know exactly how you threw me. How'd you get me out? Now I'm going to have a plan against that. Landry trying to mix speeds, frustrated with that last call. She thought that was a strike. Looked like it got the corner in the inside part of the plate. Instead, it's 3-0.
Lands at the knees for a strike. 3-1. And 2 in scoring position for Tennessee for the 2nd inning in a row.
Emma Clark taking a pitch that's middle, 3-1 count, right at the knees, goes down and elevates this pitch into the gap. I thought this was a huge opportunity for Tennessee to get another run in. Once it gets to the wall, I thought Mealer would come around, playing it safe. They kept her at third.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to be sending Mealer all the way from first as well. Gets all the way to the opposite gap.
So 2 in scoring position for the 9-hitter Savia Morgan. And Karen again putting the stop sign on.
Mealer was ready though.
Yeah. And Rocha will come out to talk to Landry, and this is a big moment for Savia Morgan. So in the supers, there was an error committed by Morgan, the starting left fielder, and they brought her in off the bench the last 2 games of the super. And so now Karen inserting her back into the starting lineup. As we've talked about, this is a whole new ball game, brand new day when you get to the World Series, and she has a big moment right here at the plate for Tennessee to pay back her coach for the confidence to put her back in there today.
Well, it is all about being able to bounce back, whether or not you're a pitcher, a fielder, a hitter. When the opportunity is in front of you, you got to snatch it.
How do you rebound?
Defense for Oklahoma is going to be pulled well in.
Morgan's going to crowd that plate. Her toes are on that line, trying to take away the inner half.
Cannot have any part of your big toe, your pinky toe, nothing outside the chalk when you make contact.
That's part of the plan last week against Jordy Ball. Hunt a certain part of the plate. Very clear what Morgan is hunting here.
To the right side, Sanders coming home, and they've got Mealer in a pickle. Nellie Mack, the throw to the plate, and the tag is applied by Sanders for the 2nd out of the inning.
There's actually nobody hurt on this play because both runners end up getting in the scoring position again because she was able to stay, Mealer was able to stay in a pickle. She was able to allow the runners to advance, get back into 2nd and 3rd. They would have gotten it out anyway at first base, but they're putting the pressure on Oklahoma's defense. Mealer staying in that pickle allows runners to get to 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, and that's a well-run pickle and run down by Oklahoma's defense where they followed their throw, and Sid Sanders was in the right spot at home to be able to make that tag.
Infield defense can go back to regular depth. Gabby Leach in the top of the order. She singled and scored in the 1st. Henry just missed away. Pitch count climbing. 2 earned runs allowed in her first 4 appearances. 2 today. Still up a run on opening day at OKC. It's time to play You Be the Third Base Coach. Michelle Smith. To send or not to send?
Yeah, I think in this situation, I would have sent Mealer coming all the way around from first base. Now, it's an outstanding relay. Agbayani, though, has the ball here, and she is a third of the way down the baseline. This is the World Series. You've got to push it. You have to have pedal to the metal. I think that you have to force Oklahoma's hand and make them make that throw perfectly to home plate. There's defensive obstruction, as we said. There's all sorts of things that could pop up. you've got to keep putting runs up on the board against Oklahoma.
They would have had to make a perfect play. And they could have. And
they could have.
But you push it. I mean.
Yeah.
And that was with one out. So you weren't out of the inning.
The other aspect of that is that you had your number 9 hitter coming up. You had not, so I'm probably sending her in that situation.
The 2 at-bats after that, Oklahoma got outs and got out of the inning. Still trailing 2-1. 5, 6, and 7 for the Sooners. Early fireworks in our second game of the day. Night session will be a fun one as well. First timers Texas Tech and Ole Miss at 7 o'clock. And then Oregon UCLA in the nightcap. Those games over on ESPN2. Winner of this one will play Texas Saturday afternoon. The loser has Florida tomorrow night. Win or go home. Beth Mullins, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, Holly Rowe with you. Sydney Barker has come on of late, the freshman from Rockland, California, in the starting lineup in May, playing first base in the outfield, now on a 7-game hitting streak. That included a 2-homer game in the SEC tournament in that spectacular comeback to rally to beat Arkansas.
And she was a hitter off the bench. You'd see her come in, pinch hit. And Sydney Sanders got hurt, so she got some opportunities to start, play first base, and her bat was red hot. So Patty's like, I got to figure out a way to keep her in this lineup. She was their 3-hole hitter last weekend.
Did she go? She did not.
And that's the changeup again, the off-speed pitch, the pitch in the low 60s, mid-60s. That's the pitch, though, that Pickens needs to land. Right now, it's a little non-competitive, and I'm sure that's why Sophia Nugent is coming out and talking a little bit about trying to get that pitch a little bit.
Why can't you just live at 78, 79 miles an hour? I mean, as a hitter.
Ella Parker, take that at bat. I mean, you might get it by certain hitters a few times, but I'll tell you what, I want to face velocity because you just get the barrel there and it's going somewhere. You need the off speed to go with it.
Down the line, foul. This Oklahoma offense, 5th in the country in scoring, 2nd Ohio State in home runs, with 6 different double-digit home run hitters. And here's the other thing, more walks than strikeouts on the season.
Way more. Yeah.
Under the direction of their hitting coach, JT Gasso. Patty's eldest son. It's a whole new analytical. He's one of the guys driving the bus.
Does a really good job of understanding the difference of body types, athleticism, what each hitter brings, and not having one way to hit.
Oppo for Barker, and that's a fair ball. She'll hold at first. Good relay in from Gabby Leach, but the tying run aboard and the go-ahead coming to the plate for OU.
Great at bat. Sydney Parker fouling off all those pitches to get one that she could drive. 8 pitches in that at bat.
And here comes Sid Sanders. 1 for 10 so far in this NCAA tournament, but she's had a knack for big swings here in Oklahoma City.
That was a big swing right there. Of course, it ends up being against the off speed at 66.
Big on conditioning, big on her personal fitness in the offseason. A whole new look for her athletically. Even off the field, Patty Gasso says she's showing more personality in her senior season. Wanting to finish on her terms in her last go-round. Pickens goes upstairs to get her. Holly Rowe.
Well, people know that Oklahoma have won the last 4 straight national championships, but what you might not know, they have 14 new players here. 6 out of the 9 position players have not been in this moment before. For Patty Gasso, to quote her, she said, "I can't believe we freaking made it here." They're very excited that this team had the wherewithal to reload, rebuild, and still be right here. But just pointing out, I feel like there's a little nerves here. This is a big crowd, a lot of OU fans. This is a big moment for these youngsters.
Well, they paid Bedlam at Devon Park this year.
Ground ball to short. They'll get the lead runner as Mueller goes to dodge. 2 down.
And they were a little shaky in that first inning against Oklahoma State. A couple of defensive errors. And, you know, Patty Gasso wanted this young team in this environment, knowing that they punched a ticket to the World Series. It was going to be even a bigger environment.
I mean, I'd say 10 times the crowd. And not to knock Bedlam, it was packed. It was loud, but it was not like this. Women's College World Series opening day, the amount of eyeballs, not just here in the stands, but everyone's watching. You feel it. First timers, and there's a whole slew of them for Oklahoma.
First time in a long time, not the preseason favorites. They did end up spending 5 weeks at #1 this year. Patty deliberately, with a younger team, did not play the difficult pre-conference schedule that they usually do, knowing as well that the SEC was going to be brutal. They had some rough patches in conference play, but sure enough, ended up winning the SEC.
Yeah, even though they lost 3 series, which just shows how competitive the SEC was this year.
But she said that all those were tests, trying to peak when they got here. Pickens, a 1-2 to Emmerling.
Great job by Sophia Nugent. We talk a lot how hard it is to hit Pickens. Can you imagine trying to catch her? It's way over her hedge. Saved a runner from advancing. Get up.
Boy, it's wild to think that Nugent was once a catcher at Oklahoma. So was Jocelyn Erickson. Couldn't break into the starting lineup behind Kinsey Hansen. They both transfer, so it's the hitter, Bella Emmerling, who transfers in.
Stanford announced with Kim Ng, who's the commissioner of AUSL, this morning that they will back, support financially, marketing. You're talking everything from the branding. First time in the history of the sport, you guys. It's going to be big. Sam Landry, of course, got one of the golden tickets.
Yes, she did.
She will be playing in the AUSL as well.
Big summer of pro softball coming. It feels different than attempts in the past to get it going.
Yeah. Well, and the relationship with MLB is just going to be a springboard to help give it credibility as well, right?
Yes.
People need that. Hopefully we can get some facilities built and
Smitty, that's the question we get asked all the time. When is Major League Baseball going to get behind the way we see NBA, WNBA, so many other entities?
Panel ground ball to short. Garcia rifles it over to first. Deep in that 5-6 hole. Got there. 1 down.
This ball is going to sneak past Nelly at third, but Garcia has been so good at covering behind her, so much speed getting in that 5-6 hole, and the quick release, that's what gets the out.
Ella Dodge out in front of the change.
I got your back. I love it. They
So
have
awesome.
for each other. That left side so strong.
2 freshmen over there on the left side. Ella Dodge struck out on a curveball her first time up. That's the lone strikeout, 1 time through the order for Landry. Hey, the Women's College World Series opening day today. All building towards the finals and the championship series next Wednesday. Game 1, best of 3. For more information, go to NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships as we celebrate the 20th year of the championship series. Last time we had a 3-game series, 2021, that Oklahoma-Florida State showdown. Full count to Dodge as the pitch count continues to rise quickly here for Landry.
Yeah, 50 pitches here in the top of the third.
Fifth 3-ball count already, fourth full count. Got some activity now in the Oklahoma bullpen for the second time today. Peyton Monticelli out there. Junior transfer from Wisconsin. And Dodge draws the walk. Holly?
Well, you just saw that great teamwork with Nelly and Gabby in the 5-6 hole there. And Nelly was telling me a cute story. She said, we had a game and there was an error by Gabby. And the next day, she's like, she had 3 buckets of ground balls hit to her. And Gabby was like, I'm never going to let you down again. And she's like, she's so hard on herself if she makes an error. So I really love it that it was Gabby that had Nelly's back in that moment.
Well, you know, the defense is high on Patty Gasso's to-do list.
Yeah, this is a team as new as they are on the infield, with the exception of Sid Sanders. Just 32 errors on the year, one of the best defensive clubs. And that left side with Nelly and Gabby, just vacuum cleaners over there. Been outstanding.
Nugent had the sacrifice fly to bring in a run in that 2-run first inning for Tennessee.
We were with a bunch of the Oklahoma alums last night, and they were talking about, hey, there is nothing like a Patty Gasso defensive practice. Like, you will be there all day if you have to make sure it is perfect.
Tried to jam her.
Speaking of the alums.
Yeah. Pitch underneath the hands.
Oh, boy. Ooh. Everybody's an umpire. Nugent pops it up. There's Garcia at short. 2 down. Nice look from above. 12,000 plus the capacity here at Devon Park. Don't see many empties.
No, he's standing.
Not when the Sooners are playing, even not in the other sessions.
Afternoon doubleheader, and then 2 more coming tonight. Nigeri Kennedy likely to be the pitcher in that first game this evening for Texas Tech against an Ole Miss team. Boy, are they fun to watch. Outscoring opponents in the NCAA tournament 41-40. With a couple of upsets over Arizona and Arkansas to get here for the first time. And then the nightcap. Speed to burn from Eugene. And an outstanding power-hitting freshman, Riley McCoy. And then that lethal UCLA combo of Megan Grant and Jordan Woolery. Home runs and runs batted in.
Dodge going to the back half of the plate and just getting that arm in. Nice tag by Emmerling, but that throw just a split second too late.
I can't believe they ruled it a hit, but they did. I mean, that was in and out of the glove of Pickering and left.
Well, and that play just shows why the inning earlier, in my opinion, you have to send Mueller. You've got to make them make everything perfect.
RBI single for Boo Gibson. And Dodge started that with a walk, so a free pass comes in to score and hurt OU.
Great base running, though.
Yeah, 2 outs, you got to be on your horse. And Ella Dodge is a spark plug. Karen Weekly said, I want her on the infield.
Ground ball to short. Garcia to Agbayani. And they get the force out. But another one up for Rocky Top. On top, 3-1. Series win in program history. A couple of debutantes in town. And then the old foes from the West Coast, UCLA and Oregon.
Let's go.
Whew. Big Ten after dark, still trying to get used to that. But
Call it the pack after
hey,
dark.
that's why it's mayhem. 3-1 Tennessee opening day, looking for a win over Oklahoma, the four-time defending champs. And our first reminder that 90% of the national champions have started out their title runs with an opening day win. Only 4 times has a team lost their first game and come back to win the title. Abby Dayton, 9 and then the top to face Carlin Pickens. And if you're scoring at home, they have now changed the Boo Gibson RBI single to an error on Pickering out in left that the run came in to score on. That's in for a strike at 67 miles an hour from Pickens.
Dayton actually hit pretty good against Pickens in the regular series, had a home run off of her. See how they attack her in this 9-hole. Pickens has a tendency when she's almost too fresh to throw through her.
I think Sophia Nugent would be okay if you said control issues. She gets a workout behind the plate.
Absolutely, she does.
But they do like the uncertainty that it puts
Yes.
into a batter's head, that you're not quite sure where that 78-mile-an-hour pitch is coming.
Effectively wild.
Yes.
In addition to the padded batting glove that she has to wear underneath the catcher's
The pickpocket.
Good job.
Catch that kind of velocity that we've never seen in college softball.
Right back to Pickens in the backhand. Even her throws over to first are at 78 miles an hour. One down. Hey, how about Game 5, NHL Western Conference Finals? Can the Canadians break through and bring the cup back north of the border? Edmonton's going to give it a shot. They're up 3-1 on Dallas. Oilers looking for a spot in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Panthers. Coverage begins with the point at 7:30. I believe the last Canadian side to win it was 1993. Of course, the Panthers won it last year, looking strong again this year. Here's top of the order in Cassidy Pickering. Flew out to right her first time around.
Cassidy Pickering, one of a few hitters in this lineup that kind of opens up that front toe to face Pickens. Very unique stance. Thinks about the drag bunt. You don't see that very often. We talked about her postseason numbers, 9 home runs and 2 postseasons. She is definitely a power hitter at the top of this order. But reading the defense, seeing an opportunity. That front toe pointed towards Pickens to clear her hips, allows her to get to the inside pitch.
Speaking of said inside pitch, she'll pull that to second. 2 down, and here comes the home run hitting Ella Parker.
What she did, her last at bat, so impressive. Remember, first pitch, 76 miles an hour inside, blew it by her, got inside her kitchen. Then the adjustment. This is 2 pitches later. Parker understanding, you want to come back in here? Well, I'm going to get my front foot down and get to the same pitch I missed just 2 pitches prior.
Ability to adjust pitch to pitch to pitch is amazing.
Within an at bat.
Yeah, only 7 have hit a homer off of Pickens this season. Ella's one of them.
And a lot of times, you know, for batters, it's going back into the dugout. You know, you've got all this information, then you have a different plan. She did it herself within the at-bat, knowing I know she's going to come back here, but she's not going to get me again.
Yeah, well, I swung and missed it. I'm not going to swing and miss it.
So now what's Pickens' adjustment here this time around?
She just went hard to the outside part of the plate.
2 All-Americans.
That's the pitch.
That's the pitch.
Yes.
There it is, 2-2.
Home run off of her. What did you see on the strikeout?
I thought she used her changeup effectively. So 2-0, she landed one, and then got her chasing out of the zone.
You guys came out of the bat. The very first person gets on. How has that aggressive mindset really impacted this game so far?
Well, we're swinging at what we want to swing at for the most part. And when we're not having good at-bats, that's the thing. You know, she's a really, really good pitcher, and you've got to be really locked into your game plan.
What is it that you want to swing at?
Things that are right around the belt that we can actually get a barrel on. I mean, good pitchers, you start chasing up, down, in and out. You just got to make them bring the ball over the plate. And I like our discipline.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Holly. And Coach Karen Weekly's side on top 3-1. Sam Landry set to go to work. Some defensive changes in the outfield here for Oklahoma. This is something they've been tinkering with throughout the year.
The outfield is different. Everyone in a different position.
The luxury to be able to have so many great outfielders, defensively as well as hitters.
Yeah, Cassidy Pickering moves from, she's got it,
Left over to right. Hannah Kors in center, and Abby Dayton in left. Seven, 8, and 9 for Tennessee. Here's Kinsey Fiedler. Lined out to second base, her first time out. Drop on the dirt.
I think it's going to be important here with 7, 8, and 9 up for Sam Landry to really try to have an efficient, clean inning. The lower half of this order for Tennessee coming up. I mean, every inning so far, there's been a lot of traffic, a lot of pitches under duress,
Yeah.
which, you know, during a game, it wears you down. The offense has been on point.
7 have already reached base in the first 3 innings. They've been on the base paths each of the first 3 innings. One down as Fiedler is retired.
This is the part of the lineup where Landry would love a clean inning. 7, 8, 9. Of course, Emma Clark, who's up right now, had a double back in the second inning. A lot of aggressive swinging from this Tennessee offense. We saw them a little more passive last weekend, but trying to get ahead, swinging earlier in counts.
Yeah, they have come here ready to go today. Aggressive, getting after it.
I think when you beat Jordy Ball in a series,
Yeah.
it gives you confidence, right? I mean, you think about her ability to pitch, right? Through the rise, the changeup, the drop, all the things of Sam Landry, as well as get her out. That's an offense for Nebraska that was very strong.
Beat OU in the regular season, beat Texas in the regular season, a team they might face if they win this game on Saturday here.
So interesting when the best version of yourself shows up, right? And for some teams, unfortunately, it doesn't show up at the end of the year. Feels like Tennessee's starting to get to that point. And on the flip side, Oklahoma has constantly, for the last 4 years, been the best versions of themselves throughout the season.
Really 12 years going back to that 2013 national championship. I mean, they've won 6 of the last 8. either Oklahoma or Florida has been in the championship series in 13 of the last 15 years.
It's amazing.
Another 3-ball count here. 5th full count of the day for Landry. And Clark draws the walk. Holly?
Well, Tennessee has had a book club all year. They read a book together and discuss chapters as the season goes on. And the book this year is called Twin Thieves. It's a wonderful book about the 2 thieves of joy. One is fear of failure, fear of judgment. And it's an allegory about a football team that tries to chase a championship. And the player said, it's so weird. Every chapter seems to correlate with what we're going through at the time. But note, that team does go on to win a championship.
Whoa.
I love that.
A little bit of Holly Rowe foreshadowing, perhaps. They hope so in Knoxville.
Fear of failure and fear of judgment. I mean, those are 2 huge takeaways that this Tennessee team definitely is applying.
Well, we heard him talking about it in the studio, you know, between games. Reminiscent of the team that came here with Monica Abbott. You've got that flamethrower, you've got that ace in the circle. They came up a bit short. They've played in the finals twice now, Tennessee has. And only Oklahoma State has been here more than Tennessee without a trophy. So this is a big opportunity for them right out of gate to send a message, if to nobody else themselves, hey, we're in it to win it.
Well, they definitely have all the tools, right? They have the ace pitcher. They've got an offense that can be explosive. It's fielding behind that ace pitcher and getting everything clicking.
Morgan fights off the 0-2 pitch. Freshman out of Columbia, Tennessee. A short gamer for much of the year, and defenses were shifting on her. Oklahoma was one of them, so was Texas. Really overplaying her to the left side. And Karen Weekly said, what do you think about hitting away? And Savaya, who's kind of quiet and shy, said, well, sure, I mean, I did that in high school. And Karen said, what?
Well, she has so much speed, 25 stolen bases on the year. She still gets pulled in left side, but when you can hit for power, that's the key.
Just keep them guessing a little bit. Working this at bat. Most of the time, pitch count doesn't matter as much, right, in softball? Especially if you stay in the winner's bracket, you get a day off. But now as that pitch count for Landry keeps rising and rising, there is a chance if the score holds, they got to come back and play again tomorrow.
And they've had to use a staff. I mean, they've used a lot of pitchers this year behind Sam Landry.
Give us opportunity throughout the rest of the game to make it up. So we're playing like we're down by 7, and we're only down by 2. So we kind of reset our mindset and see what happens.
Thank you, Coach.
Well, they're going to have to go up against Pickens to try to get those 2 runs back. And Pickens has been good. That's a screwball picking up the strikeout against Nellie Mack, but it's been the changeup she's used effectively. It was along with the rise ball, that 2-seam rise ball that's got good movement at the top of the zone. Harlan Pickens, when she is throwing that pitch effectively and can get hitters to bite and swing through it, she is the best in the game. That ERA at 1, a whip at a .89.
And it's back to work against Nellie McEnroe Marinas. 3, 4, and 5 for the Sooners. First 2 batters. Well, Parker had the solo home run. One of just 2 hits so far off of Pickens, what Patty Gasso was referencing. Got to start getting barrel on ball.
It's interesting, too, because when Sydney Barker's time in the lineup comes back up, she's the only one with batter with a hit, a nice hard hit opposite field. I know they replaced her defensively.
Hannah Core is still listed right now in the batting order. Let's see who comes out of the dugout.
Had a great at bat against Pickens.
Substitution and re-entry rules. A lot easier to come back and forth than it is in baseball. If you're removed, you can return once.
Rise ball at the top of the zone. Nellie Mack was not happy with that call.
Well, and then to be able to take, that's impressive to me. And she yelled out no, because you get a rise ball that's called at the top of the zone. It's so hard as a hitter then to decipher which one's a ball, which one's a strike. She did just that.
Full count. Lost her. And the tying run will come to the plate for the Sooners.
Channeling a little bit of Alyssa Brito, chucking the bat after a walk. I mean, this is what they need. They need momentum. They need base runners. I know it's a walk, but this is a momentum starter. A great at-bat, and watch her throw the bat and look into her dugout saying, let's go. That's your captain right there, even as a freshman. And there's Alyssa Brito in the stands, what she's been known here the last few years.
So now Gabby Garcia, 20 home runs on the season. Only the 4th freshman to ever do it at Oklahoma, joining Lauren Chamberlain, Jocelyn Allo, and Tiare Jennings. All likely Hall of Famers at Oklahoma. Out of Chandler, Arizona. A Women's College World Series legacy. Her mom, Cara Brun, played here with Arizona State back in the 2000s.
Yeah, and she's been a difference maker since the day she stepped on campus, Garcia.
The bat on Pickens.
Well, 5 of the last 6 pitches have been strikes. Look at these rise balls, Jess. Wow.
I mean, she's just another level, because to me, it's not just the velocity. That's what gets the sexy numbers. It's that spin right there, doing both. She is fired up to another level right now.
That was against Barker, who had singled off of her earlier in the game. Can she strike out the side? Here's Sanders. Pickens does not shy away from the big moments, the big matchups. The 2 fastest pitches ever recorded, one was against Brie Ellis, the other was against Jordy Ball.
When you need to dial it up a notch, those are the hitters you need to dial it up against. And she's doing it here too. I mean, she's in a situation where she's matching energy for energy.
We asked her about that. Surely you must know, right, when you're up against another heavyweight. And she just kind of gave us a wry smile. I may notice.
She competes, and a lot of times the pressure, all eyes are on the pitcher. I mean, I love talking hitting, I love talking all the positions, but this is what the game comes down to, is the circle. And Pickens loves these moments.
It's the most important piece of real estate in sports, and right now she's owning it. And yet Oklahoma one swing away from a tie game. Ball 4. And that'll bring the go-ahead run up. Couple of strikeouts in the inning, couple of walks in the inning.
Oklahoma doing a good job of laying off some of those pitches that are out of the zone, and that's the key with someone like Pickens in the circle. You have to swing at pitches that are in the zone, that are strikes.
Well, it's also one of the things for a pitcher when the adrenaline's going. It's also hard to control your pitches.
Plenty of drama already today and more to come tonight. Ole Miss taking on Nigeri Kennedy and Texas Tech. She's back for the 3rd time, but with a new team this time around. And then the Oregon Ducks, that beautiful blend of speed and power, taking on the 12-time national champion UCLA Bruins. Megan Grant, Jordan Woolery, and a pitching staff with 3 arms. Opening day. Losers play tomorrow night. Winners play Saturday. And here's Agbayani. Another one of the Hawaiians wearing her dad's number 50 uniform. Then a major leaguer in his day.
Played for the Mets. The big bopper.
Well, they're starting to catch that rise ball a little bit out of the hand.
Now it's just a matter of picking the speed.
Agbayani and right down on the first baseline, and there's Boo. Gibson gets the out, a couple stranded, 4 in the books, and a 2-run Tennessee lead. And the greatest show on dirt opening up. More mayhem today. Right back to Landry. Fires over to first, and Gabby Leach is retired. It's the top of the order right here.
Sam Landry so good at fielding her position. Allows Sid Sanders to be able to play back. It's a huge difference as a pitcher when you're able to go grab those short ground balls.
That'll bring up Taylor Pannell. This would be so big for Tennessee, probably for the rest of the field as well. Oklahoma has won 21 of their last 25 games here at the World Series. 4 straight natties.
Well, Oklahoma's given up runs this year. I mean, this isn't something new to have a 3-spot against Sam Landry, but their offense comes back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been the biggest story for Oklahoma, is they've been able to out-hit other teams. It's not like they're shutting them out, keeping them quiet.
0-2 here, Landry to Taylor Pannell.
Well, that's the key, really, for Oklahoma, is they will match you blow to blow. So even if they may not out-pitch you, they're going to try to out-bash you. And then the other X factor is their defense. Their defense has just been good. They rarely hurt themselves. Now, they have an error in this game, but they rarely hurt themselves.
That error hurt them.
Yeah.
They live in the limelight. They live in the spotlight. And, you know, just take a peek at social media. So much of America either loves watching a dynasty or they love watching the dynasty fall. Got something for everybody this week at the World Series.
Well, that's the biggest storyline coming in. I mean, honestly, for the last few years is, will Oklahoma win it again, or will someone beat them? And if they do, who is it? Which team?
Florida had a win over them last year in the semis, and then Oklahoma came back to beat the Gators. Emmerling, in time to get panel. And I think Tennessee definitely wants to challenge that.
Yeah,
Definitely
absolutely.
looks safe.
She was safe. That was definitely safe. And you go back to last inning as well when Morgan was safe. A couple of calls at first that I think definitely need to be considered.
I'll paraphrase for you. The ruling on the field was out at first base for the second out of the inning. There is a challenge.
This is a tough play. Landry can't get to it. Emmerling has to get quickly and throw across her body.
She's there.
Yeah, she's there.
A lot closer, though, than I thought
Yeah.
live. I thought she was like almost a half a step.
Same.
She's safe.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, ball is in the glove officially when it passes both sides. Brett sort of breaks the plane of both sides of the glove.
After further review, the play at first base has been changed. The runner is safe. Tennessee's first challenge of the game.
So Tennessee wins the challenge. And let's bring in our rules analyst, Christy Cornwell.
Yeah, so what they're looking at there is when the glove begins to close around the ball versus when the foot hits the base. So that's a good overturn by the folks in the replay booth.
Thank you, Christy. Foot on the bag before the glove wraps the softball. So a base runner here for Tennessee with one out. And Ella Dodge. She's been their fire starter the last few weeks. Walked and scored a run in the third.
Amazing play at home plate, diving to the back of the bag.
Homered twice off of Jordy Ball last weekend, and her connection to Oklahoma, it was during the Sooner series in the regular season that she started for the first time at second base and had a game-winning home run to clinch the third game of that series in Norman.
Karen Weekly talked about her energy, that she wanted that energy mostly at second base, really to get the infield, to get everybody together and communicating and just step everything up a level. The bat has absolutely been a bonus in big clutch situations.
Plus, she's got a whole lot of confidence. I mean, just sitting down with her yesterday, you could see not just the energy and the smile, but also just like, I'm really good. I got this. Like, facing Oklahoma is not intimidating to her. She's a huge leader for this team at a young age.
You see her big swings this year.
Well, she had a great youth career. She played for a couple of different organizations, Georgia Impact, Tampa Mustangs, Clearwater Lady Bombers. And when you're playing sometimes as guest player and for other programs, you bring that energy because you have to figure out, like, what can I contribute? And she's done that, and she's obviously brought it here to Tennessee.
Couldn't wait to get here, by the way. She left school a semester early, graduated high school.
Yeah.
And was with them last spring. And stepping onto the field this year.
Well, that's big, just to be in that environment, to learn. Just that growth.
2-2 from Landry. You know, we've talked about whether or not it's the return of the ace here at the World Series, but the other big discussion all year long was, do you have an out pitch? And the number of foul balls this year has been through the roof.
Through the roof.
With hitters just fighting off pitch after pitch.
Well, that's why the strike zone is so important. You know, pitchers need to be able to get that pitch that is just nicking the corner. It's a three-dimensional strike zone, right? It's where it breaks the plane at the front. Travels through the zone.
Full count.
To get in the batter's box against Carlin Pickens. You don't really want to know, but this is what it looks like from our ump cam. That's called a sword, a very awkward swing because the velo, the off speed has been on for Pickens.
Yeah, and the rise ball, it's just jumpy at the top of the zone. It looks like it's a cookie, and then it's past you. Just the velocity, the spin, the speeds, the movements. Carlin Pickens showing why she is one of the best in the game. 5 of those strikeouts on the rise ball, 1 on the screwball. She has been taking a little bit off of those pitches as well. Trying to keep these Sooner hitters off balance.
I love those looks. The ump cam, I mean, just to be able to be in the batter's box and understand it.
Bella Emmerling stepping in. It's 8-9 in the top. 3 innings for the Sooners still to work with. Try and stay in the winner's bracket here at the World Series. Emmerling struck out on a rise ball back in the second.
I think it's the hardest thing with Pickens right now is she's throwing 3 different speeds. So it's not just the changeup and that high velocity 76. We're seeing 70, 71 mixed in.
And that's typically a rise ball. So her hard stuff is usually 73, 74. That's fastball, drop ball, a little bit of potentially screwball, something lower in the zone. The rise ball up in the zone is going to be 69-ish, and the changeup is typically 64 to 66. But she hasn't landed that a lot today. We've not seen many pitches 62 to 64. That's the fastball, 75. That's the ball that has all that heat on it. It's got more gyro spin, so it's got that spin that looks almost more screwballish. Doesn't move a lot.
I think I saw flames, actually.
It's a radio ball. You can hear it, but you can't see it.
That's 3 walks now to the last 6 batters as we check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, you're talking about Carlin Pickens. She's using 3 different speeds. We talked to her about that. You know, she came in and Karen Weekly said she was a chucker, but now she's a pitcher. And she said, I really have had to develop my pitching and learn finesse. She said, I'm just now starting to unlock all of my tools. You're seeing that with the 3 different speeds, but she's got to tune it up right here and not give away those 3 passes.
Well, Holly, she's been her best. When we saw her at Supers, I think it was at Game 3 because she actually was slightly fatigued. She wasn't throwing through her spins. She had better movement, but you know, she's also throwing different pitches this year. More drop ball, more down in the zone, a little bit more rise ball as well. So less fastball and trying to rely more on the movement vertically.
So Pickens running into a little bit of a bother here. The last couple of innings, Oklahoma had 2 on base in the 4th. And now for the 2nd inning in a row, they bring the tying run to the plate in Abby Dayton, the 9-hitter. And that has Tennessee pitching coach Megan Rhodes Smith, the former Lady Vol hurler, out there to talk with Carlin. 5 of the 7 pitches this inning out of the zone. Dayton swung it well against Pickens in their regular season matchup, had 3 hits off of her. The transfer from Utah, one of the few with some World Series experience. She was here with the Utes a couple of years ago. Has a hit in 5 straight games. And just like Patty Gasso was calling for, here comes the home crowd.
Cassidy Pickering and Ella Parker, the next two batters. Biggest swings, home run hitter 2 later, Cassidy Pickering. You do not want to get him another free pass.
Yeah, this is a 9-hole hitter. This is it right here. You've got to go right at Dayton.
To second, Dodge steps on the base, over to first, and safe. Down the line is Dayton. But they get Malloy at second, 1 down.
I think Ella Dodge is wondering if they should challenge that, because I think she was thinking she potentially had the double play.
Ella Dodge is adamant that she's out. Why not? Here in the bottom of the 5th inning with the 2 best hitters for Oklahoma coming up, if you have a chance to get a double play here on the call.
Ooh. No.
She's safe.
Dayton's
Yeah,
there.
she's safe.
Safe.
Yeah.
Top of the order. And the 2 All-Americans lined up back-to-back for OU. Huge NCAA tournament thus far. Quiet today. Ground out to first. That'll move Dayton to second with 2 down for Parker. Oklahoma's offense. 6 strikeouts today, nearing their poorest showdown of the season, which also was against Tennessee in that strikeout department. So Parker 1 swing away from a tie game.
Well, with first base open, I mean, I know you still got to pitch to Nelly and Garcia and everybody else behind her, but with first base open, I wouldn't give her anything too good. I mean, she's proven that she can go yard off you.
How about Pickens, too? Just knowing, like you said earlier, Beth, when she's facing the best in a lineup, the hardest pitch she just threw in this game was against Parker on that first pitch.
You try telling the All-American that she can't pitch to her.
He wants to step it up.
Carlin got her swinging at a rise ball her last time up.
Yeah, and that's the difference. If you're striking out as a pitcher, if you're striking the batter out, or if you're trying to get the batter to strike themselves out.
Yeah.
In this situation, see if Parker will strike herself out. Goes to a ball in the outer half.
I would live there.
Yes, 100%.
All day.
That's off the plate.
2-2.
And look at the adjustment she makes. They go back out there and she still fouls it straight back. I mean, just missed that pitch.
Full count. Drilled out to left, and Pickens wins that battle. Ends the threat as she gets Parker to line out. 3-1, Lady Vols. Aces throw every pitch here. We've seen a pitcher come in with 1 pitch. Taryn Mowat's changeup, Megan Langenfeld's screwball, and win a championship. Who's it going to be this year? Where legends are made, where heroes are born, where big NIL deals get struck next year. The ring's the thing. Dating all the way back to the very first one in 1982, led by UCLA's Debbie June. And here we are 43 years later, still going strong. 20 years of the championship series. Nugent yanks it foul. So this is the third time in history that one conference has had an entire side of the bracket. SEC 2015, Pac-12 1999. On both of those occasions, one of those teams won the national championship. See if it plays out this time around. There's a fifth team here as well, Ole Miss, on the other side of the bracket, which ties the records from 99 and 15.
Sophia Nugent with the Michaela Edenfield eye makeup. It's a catcher thing.
And I love it when they make it almost like a mask underneath their mask.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people on social media have been also wondering about Sam Landry's glasses, how they stay on her head like that. Hairspray. Holly Rowe got to the bottom of that for us.
Told us yesterday.
I'm going to guess Aquanut. Pop up to the left side. Garcia's there. One down. That'll bring up Boo. Gibson a ground out in the first, and then an error, reached on an error in the third that brought in a run. That fan wants a Boo bomb, AKA home run.
I feel like she's due. I mean, she's been a huge force for this team so many years too, and hasn't had the numbers that I know she's wanted. Happy to see that go to 0 in the postseason.
And now the pitch count hits 100 plus for Sam Landry. Couple more innings to go.
Landry continuing to really try to use that drop ball. Falling behind to Gibson.
And Gibson aboard with one out. Third walk issued by Landry today. I think Tennessee's going to get a pinch runner out there. Katie Taylor. With Laura Mueller stepping to the plate. Singled in the second. Grounded out to short in the third. In for a strike at 68 miles an hour. Laura had a grand slam in the